Hey guys, here I am again with some peculiar observations and social commentary. I am often curious as to what can make a person racist, have this hatred towards someone without more cause than simply their country of origin or simply the color of their skin, or the way they present themselves ethnically. In regards to those who claim that Caucasian people are the only ones who can be racist, due to their power, yet in some offhand way claim they are weak and scared and lacking, make up your mind. You paint an entire, very prevalent race of humanity so sweepingly with this make-believe hue of your pathetic, racist, hateful rhetoric's off-color stupidity. Your ignorance shows. But here's a newsflash. You're a disgusting simian. You're a bigoted, racist freak show that has no place in this world. Or do you? You see, racism is literally everywhere and has roots in something called prejudice. And in this, these scared, hate-filled losers are right. But none are so more afflicted with it than those who feel like they are owed something and are entitled to what everyone else has via the very fact that they just simply exist and feel like they are the main character in a story starring themselves. They sit in their musky caves, coveting all the strong and the free have through hard work, merit, and determination. And instead of going out and putting their backs into it, they instead want to take it from those who have earned it. Be it money, status, power, production. Whatever is wanted, whatever is the thing, current thing. These people are like a fat, disgusting pervert, being so obsessed with supermodels that they will pay thousands to get their panties and force-feed themselves said undergarments. You see, these people are sick, yet obsessed with those they see as free and strong. And due to their insanity and freakish amounts of sheer quit they have in them, this obsession and lust becomes hate and vitriol in their little clown world. The people who commit fully and try to change history, change genders and races of important historical figures or characters, pull down statues of people they simply just don't like the look of, or just don't understand because they were born in a time that they couldn't even conceive of. They are envious racists of a different stripe. In more often than ancient times, when a reprehensible empire begets dislikes the neighboring people, they go and destroy them from the outside like cowards through subversion. Then take their converted, useful idiot people as slaves. And then further, afterwards destroy all their cultural significance to ensure they only know that they are slaves and have no heritage, and as thus are now lesser serfs. And that is what is happening now. An erasure of a race of humanity that everyone seems so afraid of and so terrified that they have some kind of prejudice of literally anything at all. Whether or not they want to keep Caucasians as slaves is anyone's guess, really, as that was really simply a bit of a thought experiment through correlations of reality that is transpiring around us. Though I assume they will be keeping the females, as they have all but house-trained them into betraying everything and everyone, even their families, with such a desperate fervor. You'd swear they wanted to be multiracial brood sows for their new masters. The Western woman will churn out the foot soldiers of bastard legions like good little dogs to fight against the free people, hoping that the proximation to looking like our children will stay our hands, effectively trying to use the very aspect of love and compassion as some kind of armor, in what I could only describe as the greatest blasphemy of the higher law of love itself and humanity. And in effect, it is the greatest crime against the entirety of humanity that I could ever conceive of. Imagine being so vile, so impossibly disgusting, that you'd use someone's own child as essentially a suicide bomber to assassinate them and destroy their culture. That is who these people are who claim they are our betters, and claim the whole of the Caucasian races, a bunch of bigoted, hate-filled, misogynistic losers who also somehow have all the power. Perfect straw man, if you ask me. Burn that paper, dog. Then what? They have been utterly thirsting for a race war. The ones who start this. That they lack a spine to even fight in, let alone die in. Instead, they'll go to universities and subvert your child into believing you are the enemy in hopes that you'll hesitate and doubt yourself just long enough that one of your kids' violent new college friends strike you in the back to get you out of the way of their shock troopers taking your country from you. These people will avoid any adversity, even working, even simply learning, to attain this faint, mentally unstable fallacy of power, and will continue to slaughter wholesale the entirety of humanity if they must, just so they feel superior. These weak, pathetic people are so deranged and retarded by their own racist impotence and lust for power and control that all they can feel is fear, and it stains literally everything they do. The symptom of this is that being why movies and television and video games and art suck now. Music? So next time you see one of them projecting this hate, know they are scared, and most of the time, when they are young, you have to find the true race behind them, pushing them down this dark path. And these parasites simply must be put away from society, as they are too mentally unstable and deranged to participate. I guess the thesis of this rant is simply that the racists are so filled with fear, hate, and envy that they are deranged and inhuman because of it as a result. They cannot see past their fears and know they are too mentally impotent and insufficient to be a part of polite society. So they want to change it through things like ESG and CRT. And all of these useless rules and loophole-filled laws that can be twisted, subverted, and emboldened to support their causes. They speak their hate freely, they broadcast it loudly, and they smile smugly, sneering like an imperialist that has already won, talking down to the serf class of subverted souls under their iron-fisted rule. If you see these people and hear their words, it is undeniable who they are, as they boldly claim their truth to the world. And the sheep clap and nod their mindless heads in unison, because they'd rather go along to get along than to face this adversity. The sad fact of it is the sheep for the strength of these manipulators, these evil people, these hate, fear mongers, and it is the sheep that will strike against the normies, us, people with working neurons, due to the monsters kind of being too pathetic to even lift a stone to throw. It will be their bleeding war calling in a sin driven by an impotent, mad, loudmouth, arrogant, racist, hate-filled demagogue that will be what we should fear. It's happened before. Not the actual hate-filled mouth losers. You can't fear them. You can pity them. And we maybe need to up our fighting to include these people to the fold of free thinkers by stopping all this Manchurian candidate Stockholm Syndrome brainwashing that starts in our educational system. It just weaponizes these poor people against their own countrymen. Hey, it's a target on their back. Your kids. We just need to give them structure. Something worth fighting for, something worth dying for. That used to be freedom. But the greed and emptiness of a culture that only exalts the rich and famous only empties their will to even try, let alone fight for their own freedom. We need to do better as a voice of freedom, or we simply do not deserve to exist, and will deserve to be forgotten. Because as it is, I cannot imagine missing a people too stupid to defend freedom.